early at the Warriors headquarters here in New York City, and I must relay this story to you. What is happening with our children in New York City? Here's what happened last night. A little 5-year-old boy wandered into a midtown hotel. I happened to be there at an event. This hotel is located very close to Grand Central Terminal. And if you're not familiar with New York City, that's the big train hub, train station, and also not too far from the Port Authority bus terminal. This boy was determined to be about 5 years old, and he walked in to the event surrounded by this very busy hotel, people coming in and out of the lobby. This room was set off to the side for the event, and he was selling candy. They hold these big boxes. So it's not like he could sneak in. He was a little boy. It's not like he could sneak in with a bunch of candy bars in a shopping bag and then whip them out, to sell. It's a big box. And he was going around holding out the Venmo so people could buy the candy bars. Now, we did our best to question him, like, hey, who are you here with? Hey, do you get to keep your money? And here's the horrifying facts that I want each and every one of you to know, because yes, this is New York City, but what I'm about to explain to you is happening in some way, shape, form in every town, city, and rural area across America. It is happening right in front of our eyes. It is escalating, and it must be addressed properly. It must be addressed by everybody, because our Warriors hashtag is community creates change. I could not believe for a late afternoon cocktail party that this little boy was able to wander in. First of all, there were two men at the door, doormen, security, whatever you want to call them. They opened the door for me. Did they not see this little boy wander in with his huge box of candy? Or did he wander in with an adult who then disappeared and put him to work? This is the classic case of a trafficked child. We know this. Let me tell you what happened. So he was questioned. We tried to keep him there. Obviously, first course of action is always calling 911. I am disappointed to say 911 never responded. They never showed up for several hours. We did our best to keep him there. At one point, he skirted out. He took off. He knew at age 5, right? He reported to us that he is allowed to keep $2 a day. Where did this little boy come from? First he reported, "Oh, my mom's out there," pointing towards the lobby. Then we heard him telling somebody else, "Oh, I'm here with my sister. She's over there." This child is trafficked. How many little boys and girls are out there? And you know what? I have to say, 911, no response. This is, low on the totem pole in New York City, and I believe probably other major cities, and that is not good enough, because that child ran off. We didn't have cause to hold him after we tried very hard, and all of a sudden he became 5 years old. We thought, right? He could be 4, he could be 6. Looked to be about 5. Especially I was with an expert who really knows how to determine immediately what a trafficked child looks like. And all of a sudden he became very, he was kept there for a while, but all of a sudden he became very nervous, and his eyes were darting all over, and he took off. I want to know, and this is also very close to Times Square, right in the middle of the crossroads of the world. And I've been in Times Square, and I've heard, actually, I would say I have seen boys maybe 8, 10, could be 7, could be 11, running up to all the tourists who are so busy looking up at the buildings. They're so busy looking at all the lights and billboards. I mean, you could go blind these days. There is so much tech there in the middle of Times Square. And I've heard them running up, hey, mister, do you want a girl? Hey, mister, do you want a lady? Where are these children coming from? I don't care how busy law enforcement is. I don't care how busy anybody is. We must all be aware. We did our very best with this boy. Now, the good news is we have the Venmo. So that, of course, will be reported to law enforcement. But here's what I want to share with you. This may be New York City, and we're working. We don't give up, right, on anything here in New York, because we are warriors. In your town or rural area, your response will be much quicker, because even areas outside of New York City, still New York, could be Westchester, considered suburbs, out on Long Island, they respond much quicker to a 911. So we can't give up. There's a lot of hope. But you know what? I stayed up all night thinking about this little boy who was seemingly able to walk into a major New York City Midtown hotel that was buzzing with activity, with a huge box of candy to solicit from strangers. Where did he go when he ran off? What happened? Little girls have been on the streets selling trinkets. Traditionally, we've seen this in the subways, but usually older kids, right? They say they're selling for their school, but now we're seeing very, very young kids. I want each and every one of you to make the commitment. If you think you see something, hear something, know something, you call 911. We must have a record of all going on. Also, warriors, on our X, on our Facebook, wherever we share pictures of missing children, it is very urgent that you also share on your platforms, eyes and ears, because you know what? A little boy was just found after 7 years. So a story like that gives us hope that other kids can be found. Community Creates Change is our hashtag. Please educate yourselves. Don't wait to slap the Band-Aid on if you have kids or grandkids. Come to this in the beginning. Will we solve all these problems? No. You know and I know we're not going to. However, I'm going to keep saying hope because in 2025, there's so much hope, so much legislation that's pending. I know Take It Down Act. I know the House will pass it. I know we will have the reintroduction of the Kids Online Safety Act. I know more schools are talking about getting the phones out of the classrooms. I know more people are aware because of the way they write to me, question me, contact me about these issues. So there's so much going on. Good news. But I want to point out in the meantime, this little boy, I am haunted by it. Out on his own, who knows what's happening to him, but I do know one thing. This was a trafficked child. Community Creates Change. Eyes and ears open, everyone. 911 if you see or hear, know of anything. Don't be discouraged because you are a warrior.